Let us talk about a situation where the vendors who process on your behalf and you share personal data with them themselves can create a risk. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on data privacy. And as I said, we'll talk about vendor sharing, how to avoid it making a risk. It is generally a very standard thing that you have been working with your vendors for many years. A trust has been established, business is being done, nothing has gone wrong. Minor hiccups here and there is fine, but nothing serious. So it's a normal business process. Nothing new about it. But sometimes, especially now with a lot of focus on personal information, things are different. Data leaves your control. It is shared for processing. It's not stored with you now, and you are not able to view or work on that data. The main thing is that it is of your own visibility as to where the data is. When you outsource the complete processing, this could be an issue. You can look at several examples. For example, collection agencies for bank, collecting EMIs, collecting credit card payments, they're all outsourced. And forget about privacy, even otherwise, sometimes they talk in a way or things that you don't like. Whose reputation gets impacted? In fact, these days there's an article on LinkedIn where a credit card collection agency started hitting the customer who was not able to pay credit card payment on time in Pune. Whose reputation is it? You don't know the agency. You'd never even come to know the name of the agency. The agency would disappear, right? Except for this case where you have a video so you know the individuals. But it's the bank's reputation. Why? Because the work is being done on behalf of the bank. Same as with privacy. You collect the data as a fiduciary. Bank collects the data as a fiduciary. Anything goes wrong, whether the bank is processing internally or externally. Anything goes wrong when a fiduciary is processing the data internally or externally is fiduciary's responsibility and not the processing agency's responsibility. So instead of getting into the assumptions that they'll handle it properly, you will need to get a bit serious about it. You cannot have a blind trust. You need to validate that they are working properly. You need to make sure that there's oversight of it. You have to make sure that all the privacy norms like reasonable security safeguards, data processing agreements, role-based access, everything is live and running in their environment. It breaks down when there is no real due diligence, when there are no control checks, when there is no process validation, and when there is no risk assessment. Reality, vendors are not just your extension. You continue to be responsible. If anything goes wrong with personal information collected by you or on your behalf while being processed by your processor, external processor, then you own the responsibility. You own the liability of any penalties that come up. And like I mentioned in this bank credit card case, you own the reputation as well. Vendors will have different maturity levels, different controls, different priorities. You need to make sure that you are controlling them or at least having an oversight on what is happening over there. You own the data, accountability is with you, right? Reputation is yours, so you need to be careful about it. DPDP says that you just outsource processing, you don't outsource your accountability or your responsibility. Controlled sharing is required, not indefinite sharing is required. We cannot afford a vendor oversight in such situations. What should exist? Basic controls. You have done due diligence. You are careful about sharing mechanisms, encrypted, anonymized, proper networks. At the destination, proper storage, role based access, again encrypted. All precautions taken to avoid a breach. Employees well trained. Proper monitoring. Reasonable security safeguards. And on top of it, you should have the authority to conduct an audit or an assessment as and when you think is appropriate. And the processor is responsible for answering you back in case there's an audit requirement, in case there's a customer user right requirement that comes up and you need some information from your processors. The hard truth is vendor risk cannot be ignored. You have to focus on those contracts, ignoring all the operations, and focus on the audits and assessments that you can do. Focus on the audits and assessments then that they do, and share the reports with you. You need to continue to follow up with them to make sure that your reputation is not damaged. Risk does not end at the boundary. Risk continues because the data was collected for you with a purpose you defined. Responsibility remains yours. So be careful when you are doing a third party processing. Sign proper data processing agreements, keeping all the privacy norms in account. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share your feedback, and if you think you need any help in implementing or assessments or employee awareness with respect to privacy, my contact details are available in the description. Please contact me. Thank you.